in her bed all night, and she never does. But when it's just me at home and Anna's out and about or having a late work night, I put her down to sleep. It takes her 2 minutes to be like, Papa, I don't want to sleep by myself. I'm like, all right. She knows I'm a softie. I'm like, yo, get to bed. Let's go. Let's knock out. And 5 minutes later, she's snoring, and I'm like, all right, good. Got my baby girl here.
Now, here's the question.
Because in her teenage years, she will want nothing to do with me.
No, she's just going to want you to hand her the keys to the car and Venmo or Apple Pay her some money.
Yep.
But do you pick her up and then put her into her room, or you just let her sleep there?
Oh, no.
Or does it depend?
We read her a book. I read her a book and put her PJs on and stuff like that, rocking the chair, and then, tuck her in, and she's got her stuffed animals in there. I say goodnight to Ladybug and Teddy Bear and Teddy, as we call him, JJ from Cocomelons, and Minnie Mouse and Chasika. And then she go to sleep, turn off the nightlight. And usually if Mama's there, she'll stay in her room and sleep till about 1 in the morning, then come in the room. But if it's just me, she'll be up in like 5 minutes. I'll hear the door, and I'm like, what's going on here? I'm trying to work. It's like, all right, Papa, we got to go to, it's like, all right, come on in. This is what it is. So shout out to the single parents. But we're talking about pressure. And I got to play this from Steve Young. Where is this from with Steve Young? Where is this soundbite
Rich
from?
Eisen show.
Was it the Rich Eisen show? Because I saw a lady in there. Okay.
So many good guests.
Rich Eisen's bad.
It was not Rich Eisen, but it was Rich Eisen's show. I believe it was his partner, Susie is her name?
Susie, okay, yeah, because I saw the lady. I was like, who? That's not Rich Eisen. Okay, well, anyway, here's what Steve Young said about Brock Purdy moving forward.
If they're going to stay with the same plan, then the demand for Brock is even greater. He has to be even more honed on his efficiency to find players that aren't necessarily the top of their, the top of the game like Debo, the top of the game like CMC. And now I've got to figure out how to get the ball to them, have them get open. And I'm going to, inevitably, Susie, he's going to have to do more. He's going to have to move around more. He's going to have to put himself at risk more. And he's going to have to do things that aren't necessarily his strong suit. And that might provide great things in the future for when they get to the Super Bowl this year, or have to face Patrick Mahomes or face Lamar Jackson. The thing about the 49ers, when they face Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, any big, strong, prototypical quarterback today, they lose. So getting their guy more like that and under duress, like with injuries, might be a good thing.
Might be a good thing.
Well, the part at the end, really stuck out to me. It's like anytime they face those guys, they lose. And I'm thinking about it off the top of my head. So they've lost to Baltimore.
Yeah.
I'm talking about recently.
They lost to Baltimore twice, 2019 and
with Brock.
And
Let's just say with Brock.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Brock.
so he lost to Burrow. Okay.
Mahomes.
Lost to Mahomes. Who else is he putting in there? He's beat Stafford.
Lost to Kirk Cousins.
I hate putting that in there.
Lost to P.J. Walker.
Kirk Cousins.
No, but I'm talking about the big boys.
He's 0-3 against the big boys.
And they get Allen later this year?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. The thing when I hear Steve Young talk is I think psychologically he understands what people are going through. I've read his book a couple times, and one of the things that I always reference is in 91 he had the opportunity to leave. And his pastor said to him, if you really want to see the best version of yourself, you know who it's with.
Yeah.
It's with the 49ers. You can go elsewhere and you'll get a starting job and this, but the only way to find who you truly are and to push yourself is the pressure of where you're at right now.
You're right. By the way, we got to put Sam Darnold on that list. Last year's backup just beat Brock Purdy, and he looked pretty dynamic in doing it.
Yeah, I meant the best quarterbacks in the league.
That deep ball, man. I kept watching that last night. It's like, damn, dude.
As a thrower of the football?
I'm not going to lie.
When I seen him throw that ball, I was like, oh, my God.
I was like, oh, my God. And I kept watching and I said, oh, my God. The Niners, you're in trouble. Hold them. Dick Brown, you're in trouble. And I like those guys. Anyway, no. But that's, I'm a sucker for the deep ball. I love the deep ball. That's why I loved Al Davis. He was always like, take what the defense gives you. No, we're going to take what we want. That's why I got to have 2 to 3 deep shots a game.
But did you love Brady?
He would chuck that baby deep.
Yeah, but the last couple,
Brady over his career, Brady will let that baby fly.
Well, no, you're taking like some of the, the more elite teams they had. I think the last 2 Super Bowls in New England, it was a lot of checking down.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Mike Evans?
I meant
Antonio Brown?
The New England. It was
last
like
couple years?
Gronk's 7-yard seam route, I mean, like Edelman on the inside.
But for the totality of his career, Brady let that thing fly.
I mean,
he let that thing fly before Moss, after Moss. Come on, Tom Brady, go look at YouTube. I remember he was like in his second year coming off the Super Bowl.
Highlights.
I'll never forget. I'll never forget watching
Purdy threw deep.
I'll never forget watching the Chargers game randomly. Brady's second year, third year. They're down in San Diego, and he was chucking it in 4 wide, 50 yards down the field. I'm like, damn, Brady's got an arm. All I'm saying is, I want a fly route. I gotta have a fly route. I gotta put pressure on the defense and say, you don't pay attention to us, we're gonna beat you over the top.
But they did that last year. They just didn't do it in this game.
They haven't done it in these first 2 games, and I want to see more of that.
I mean,
that's all
the
I'm
first
saying.
game they were
I gotta have
control.
it. I'm just saying, I gotta have it.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. But those elite quarterbacks, they're going to test you deep.
I mean, last year in particular, specifically, Patrick Mahomes, his average yard of attempt was the lowest of his career.
It was.
He was one of the worst in the league in terms of how deep he was actually throwing.
But he was chucking
because they were keeping it short.
But we were seeing a lot of those games though, watching it in real time. Whether it's Philadelphia on Monday Night Football, where he's throwing it deep to MVS and he's dropping it, or he's trying to throw it deep in Green Bay and guys are dropping it. At least once or twice a game, let the defense know. Yeah, let the defense know, hey, if you're not on your P's and Q's, we're going to let this baby fly and beat you deep. We're going to drop the bomb on you. That's all I want. You know what I'm saying? There's no threat of that right now. Everything is 15 yards is in. So I want to see these shots, not a flare, a seam route to the fullback for 30 yards where he's going to get caught. Drop back, plant your feet, and let it go like you did against Tampa Bay last year. But that's just nitpick. That's just a little thing. But here's the other thing that I thought was very interesting, not only from Steve Young, but from Rob Gronkowski. And is this true, folks? Is this true? Gronk with Kay Adams on the 49ers needing a it guy.
That will definitely give us a test to see where Purdy is. I mean, you got Samuel going to be out. Christian McCaffrey's going to be out.
Who do they have this week? Let me look.
They got so many weapons. I don't know why they're not producing. Why are they not putting up points like the New Orleans Saints every single week, week in and week out? That's the problem with the 49ers last year as well, is that they dominated some games, and then some games they just didn't show up and they couldn't produce. They should be producing week in and week out, especially with offensive-minded coach Kyle Shanahan, and then with all the weapons that they have. They need that it guy. I feel like they got a lot of weapons, but they just don't have like an it guy to turn it up. Yeah, Ayuk, I mean, he's a great guy, but look, he was holding out
George
the whole time. George Kittle, they're great players.
All-pro?
But I'm talking,
what do you
need
mean?
an it guy, like an it guy.
Who's
like Edelman was an it guy.
Are you telling me that Kittle's not an it guy?
He's an it guy, but like I'm talking like when it comes to crunch time, it's, hey, feed me that ball. I feel like, they're great playmakers, and they all rely on the other one to make the play because there's so many great weapons. You know what I mean? When you have so many great players around you, you rely, he's going to make the play. That guy's going to make the play. But when you don't have so many, like when Edelman was out there
but Brady made it.
Myself out there, it's give me that ball, give me the ball.
Edelman missed a lot of time, and you missed a lot of time, and Brady made it guys out of Chris Hogan.
Because Brady was the it guy.
No disrespect to Hogan, but
Hogan was kind of an it guy too. He had that mentality of feed me the ball, I want it, I'm going to do whatever.
It's mentality,
whatever it takes. It's mentality, and I feel like Trent Williams has that mentality.
Yeah.
He will go out there and he tosses people around. That's what you want. And he's doing it 24/7.
Are you calling out the grittiness of this team? What are you doing,
just
Rob?
That mentality. I mean, they should be dominating.
Okay.
What did you think about that from Gronk?
There's so much there.
888-957-9570.
Debo's not an it guy. He did it in the playoffs in 2021 over and over. Kyle, give me the ball. Like the biggest moments of the game. NFC Championship game last year. Did Debo not have an it game?
Well, I think he did.
Against the Seahawks the year prior. He didn't have an it game? He went off in that game.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, just because you get stopped in a game doesn't mean that everything you do is now negated. Like, now, I will say this. To say that Chris Hogan is an it guy, I mean, get out of here on that one. But do they underutilize George Kittle in key moments of a game? That I agree with. That I agree with. Because I truly believe one of the number one issues that I have just with the offense as a whole, and they've been wildly successful. They were historic last year. But one of my biggest issues, dude, go trips on one side, put Kittle on the other side all by himself, line him up against a safety or a tight end, and just throw him the ball. That's what Gronk did. That's what Antonio Gates does. That's what Travis Kelce does.
Tony Gonzalez. Like, pick whoever you think is a great tight end. And to me, that is one area, when we talk about over the next couple weeks, how do you survive without Debo? You split out George Kittle and you match him up on linebackers and on safeties. And if it's a safety, he goes up and over him. If it's a linebacker, he runs by him. And I would be isolating that matchup all day. I think they keep him in to block a lot. He's a great blocker. I get all of that. He is a dynamic downfield pass catcher, and I think that's the number one underutilized thing on this team over the last couple of years. They pick and choose Kittle. I would like Kittle to be more prominently featured. Yeah, we see it in the Super Bowl. Both Super Bowls. He's in the block. We see it at times in big games where he's in the block and he has to block, so I'm with you on that one. Ayuk is the interesting one, and now that Ayuk's got the money, the spotlight is on him. The spotlight, you want to talk about pressure. The theme of the show, I guess, is pressure. The theme of the week is pressure. And we're going to go to the lines in just a second and talk more pressure. But unfortunately, whether you like it or not, whether it's fair or not, Brandon Ayuk's going to have a lot of pressure over the next 3 weeks to prove that, hey, the hold-in was worth it, that I am one of those guys. Because I don't care what anybody says at this point. We did shows every single day during the hold-in. We did. It shows all season. Ayuk was a second-team All-Pro, but it felt like the fan base didn't perceive him as a second-team All-Pro. They just said, hey, he's a guy. He's a good guy.
Because the coach doesn't prioritize him as a let me ask you.
He never prioritizes anybody. It's like we're going to go to the hot guy. At times,
I feel like Debo gets a full game plan. Like there are certain times. For example, Kittle had that 3 touchdown game. It felt like in that game, hey, I don't think it was against the Cowboys. Hey, we're gonna isolate Kittle on a couple big time plays, and we're gonna.
Pittsburgh, sorry to cut you off, but Pittsburgh, Ayuk 8 for 8. I get that.
But even then, I would like more of Kittle.
Right.
I think Ayuk's really good. I don't think he's on the hey, we're going to try to scheme him to get 15 targets a game. They've never done it. Can they? I'd like to see.
I'd like to see 12 targets for Ayuk this week.
I'd like to see
I want to see it. I want to see it too. Prove to me that you are worth that guy. I think he is that guy. I don't think he gets the opportunity to be that guy. But boy, I would love to see that guy. Boy, Kittle get 3 targets in the Super Bowl. Damn, let's go to Rob in San Bruno.
It's almost impossible that you walk out of the game and not isolate Kittle with more than a half dozen targets.
It doesn't make sense. Well, Baldy's talked about it for years. They've run seam routes with third-string tight ends, whether it's Tyler Croft or what his name was, Tyler Croft,
Craycraft.
Who?
River Craycraft.
I mean, felt like he was getting more looks.
But I'm just talking about tight ends. They designed so many great plays for the tight ends. Ross Dwelly. If you don't see it for Kittle, and Baldy will question that in the past. It's like, how come you can't draw that up for George Kittle? Let's go to Rob in San Bruno. Rob, what's happening?
What's going on? First off, Debo is that it guy. I don't know what that dude was talking about. Debo the guy.
Completely agree.
Secondly, I think I had a brain fart. Oh shoot! No, I just think Brock. The pressure's on Cal. It's not on Brock. This is Cal's offense. Cal put guys he wants in to play his style of ball. It has nothing to do with who the quarterback is. Brock Purdy is a product of Kyle Shanahan. If the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl, it's going to be on Cal's shoulders. Brock won't get the credit for his Cal. So I don't know why we keep.
Rob, you working out right now? You working out right now?
Shannon Sharp?
Right, Rob, you are in tip-top shape, man. What are you doing? Are you on the treadmill? You Peloton?
Hey, you said Shannon Sharp.
I was going to leave that alone. Tell me to flow through that.
Stop it.
Hey, Rob.
Yes.
They have got to they've got to lean on these guys. I think Mason's a legit back. I think Kittle is a stud that they underutilize, and I want to see it with Ayuk. Let's go. Like they could still win the next couple games with those guys. They've got enough talent.
Hey, you know how Kyle get down. Ayuk in a doghouse for way acting towards that contract. So they didn't want to throw in the ball unless they had to. Now they got to. So to me, I don't think you got to scheme Brandon open. Brandon gets open by himself. Just give him the ball. That's all.
Yeah, no doubt. What workout? I got to know what workouts, man. Not the Shannon Sharp, but what has he got? The roast sparks? The roast sparks? We don't need the roast sparks, right?
No. I do a little bit of weightlifting, but I'm walking up this big ass hill out in Frisco, so
I feel you on
that's
that.
my workout for today.
There it is.
I imagine you doing Bowflex, like those old wooden Bowflexes from the 80s, Rob. I'm totally teasing.
Rob's a big boy, man.
Oh, Rob's
a big boy. Rob's a big boy. I'll hire him as security.
I'm gonna break somebody.
Let's